Here we're going to be looking at everything you can do with XPS Health. So to begin with, you want to make sure that your teams are connected. So clicking on the Teams section, you double click on the name of a squad and then make sure that the box is ticked that includes this team in XPS Health. So as long as that's checked, they're going to be connected to the health and also to the training status. So the training status is for coaches to be able to view the current status of their squad, who's available, who's unavailable, do they have a modified training status. We can read the descriptions, the estimated return to play dates that have been set by the medical staff. And if an athlete has more than one injury, we can hover over the description and it will show the list of injuries with the most severe one at the top. Medical staff will click on the health button up here and they'll be able to log in with their XPS Health credentials. And they'll need to use two-factor authentication to access. And this takes us to our dashboard where we can see we're looking at Team A. We've got the list of players similar to the training status, who's available and unavailable. We also have athletes, which is an individual breakdown of each player. And then we have the event log, which is a full list of every single entry that's made in XPS Health. We also have your profile icon over on the top right hand corner where you can access your preferences. And this is where we can add custom illnesses, injuries, and decide what types of injuries we want to make sure we show when we're reporting. So for example, these injury actions, how did an injury occur? We want to make sure that this is required, or we want to hide this from our reporting. And this will decide what fields are being shown when you're making your report. So for example, if you wanted to find out when an injury occurred, at what time during a game, you can decide to make this optional in your reporting or required. So let's make this optional and we can have a look at it shortly. The same applies for illnesses, training status, and treatments. So let's look at registering an injury for a player. So here we will look at Anthony Hunter. And if we click the three dots, the first option at the top is report injury. And this will bring us to our reporting template where we can look at the date that the injury occurred, give it a name. So in this case, let's choose ACL rupture. I could type the words in here, or I could type the code for the injury. And I'm just going to fill out a few other details here. Now, as we scroll down, we can see the point in time parameter that has been turned on from our change in the preferences. So this occurred after the 90th minute. We can also click up on the body chart here, the pain points. So if I click first, it's in red, orange, and yellow. So you can go and do this for both sides if you wanted to, and identify the sore points. We can also log the pain level if you have the athlete with you, the intensity out of 10, and what date that was recorded. And for your coaching staff, you decide when is this athlete able to return to play. So let's say not till June 30. They're definitely unavailable for training. And we can make a comment, and this is what the coaches are going to see in the training status. You have the ability to add an attachment. So if you were emailed a certificate or you have a scan, you can also add notes. We can add a treatment plan here. So in the treatment type, I can decide massage, medication, or physical therapy. If you don't want to choose one of these options, you can add your own treatment type. So for now, let's choose medication, and you'll see I have the ability to make a comment, decide what medicine, how it's administered, and so on. And then we can press done once we're finished on reporting. Then you'll be notified with a pop-up window on how you want to communicate this message to the coaches. So we can decide if we want to message one or multiple staff members or the athlete directly that the report's been made. We can also, if we select multiple, send this as a group chat and discuss internally how we're going to manage this injury. So let's send that. Now we can see that Anthony is unavailable. The training status number is updated. The injury is listed in the description, and we have an estimated return to play date. Now, if we went into Anthony's profile here and we wanted to edit the open injury, we can just click the three dots here and decide to open it up, we can click the three dots here, or we can mark the injury as resolved. So similar to reporting on an injury, you can do so for an illness as well, which gives you a very similar layout. Same goes for the treatment. This time you get a look at any injury or illness that was done present or future. You'll see the details off to the right, and then you can complete the report. Next option is the ability to register a note if you want to make a comment about the player, or we could notify the athlete or the coaches involved about something specific. So this will show you the recipients, the athlete, any trainers involved, the groups, and then you can type in your message and add an attachment. If we wanted to look at the history of a player's training status, we can again click the three dots, choose the second last option, and here I've got a summary of everything that's been logged. We can copy it to the clipboard, paste it into our spreadsheets or reports if necessary. And the final option is to download a PDF, which will display just like this, where we have the health summary, Adrian, his details, important medical information that's been logged, any injuries. As we scroll down, we can see illnesses, treatment plans, and any general notes that we've made. Clicking on a player's name and looking at their specific profile, we can see their age, their status, and any important medical information. So if you don't have the age filled out for a certain player, for example, Elijah here has a missing birth date, you can go to the teams section, find the squad that Elijah is located in. So he's a part of Team A here. I can click on his name and then choose date of birth. Let's go April 1st, 1994. Now that that's logged, we should see that Elijah now has an age of 30. Moving into the event log, if we wanted to filter and sort by any of the entries that we've made, you can do so by choosing these boxes here. So if I wanted to look at all of the injuries that we had from the last 3 months, so let's go back to October 1st until the 1st of Jan, and I press export, it's going to ask me which columns would I like to export into a CSV file. So let's take everything. If you wanted to remove certain points, you could. And this will give you a CSV file that looks just like this. It has all of the columns that you've included by checking the boxes. Looking at the mobile, coaches can access the training status button at the top here next to calendar. So then they can see their team, who's available, unavailable, and open up each individual player to see the details and their return to play date. Any messages or notifications from XPS Health will show up here. So let's go in and just quickly make a change to our open injury for Anthony. And if we edit, let's just change the return to play date to the 3rd of June. And click done. And we're going to decide to notify Archie Fuller. Send. Now you'll see that there's a red notification bubble on the messages here, which tells us that there's been an injury update to Anthony Hunter. We can open that up and see all of the details below. Looking at self-reporting and how it links to XPS Health, we can set up forms here in evaluations. So here I've got a soreness form, which links a body chart and a question asking for a description of the soreness. So what we can do is whenever this soreness form is completed, we can notify a particular coach by choosing their name in this drop-down menu here. As well, you can also right-click and choose Notify when answered if you wanted to select multiple coaches to receive a notification. In order to link the answer to XPS Health, we just have to make sure that when we right-click on the item, we have this ticked, which is to send to Health Event Log, which means if any athlete completes this soreness form, the body chart and the description of the soreness are both going to be sent to the XPS Health Event Log. So let's take a look at the soreness form and how it displays from the athlete's perspective. So here at the top of the agenda, we have the soreness form. We can open this up. You can see the body chart. So let's say we're experiencing some soreness in the quad, just here, and we can switch to the other side and down the bottom, make a description, soreness in right quad from running. Press done. Now that form has sent the data straight to XPS Health. And now if we head straight over to the event log, we'll see that Anthony Hunter has done self-reporting. We can open this up and see exactly what the athlete has chosen on the body chart, as well as the comment description of the soreness. Lastly, we're going to look at unavailable athletes and how that affects our attendance. So if we go and look at the calendar and we open up a session, let's say on the 26th here, and we go to attendance, we can see that Anthony, Elijah and James are already marked as away because this is before their return to play date. So if we see here that Elijah will be back and playing after the 10th of Feb, we could go to a session afterwards, so the 17th, and you'll see that Elijah is not marked as away. Thanks for watching.